It's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Bulverde Road. During the next 2 hours, our experts will help you with your gardening questions when you call 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. Or come by Milberger's during the show and have your question answered in person. And now it's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
And welcome to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. All right, we're live here at Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 on Bulverde Road, where it's absolutely gorgeous as we look out straight ahead from the porch, which is where we're sitting, and you can find us.
What is the first flower you see there? That is so spectacular.
Zinnia.
We see rosemary in pots hanging.
Oh,
in
yeah,
baskets.
that's true.
That's
we do
right
see that.
in front of it. However, beyond the pots.
Well, then they don't seem to have any flowers on them, though.
No. June is not the flower.
The deer don't eat them, but...
Yeah.
Oh, the rosemary?
Yeah. January is
okay.
January, February is
and but it is gorgeous here. So there's lots of summer color you can get.
And we have a breeze.
Yes, we do. It is a nice breeze. It's kind of flowing this way. Hello. How are y'all doing? I'm sorry? Carnivorous plants, I believe, are in the greenhouse.
In the greenhouse.
Yeah. Thank you. Yep. And if you see a dog in there, we don't know what happened to him. No. Not that they're not that carnivorous.
Well,
I don't recall.
Do you have deer problems and you're trying to get a carnivorous plant? Is that it?
No, she just likes them.
What's that?
She just likes them.
No, I know. I'm just being silly.
They are cool. They're one of the number one mothers.
Yeah, that was so interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird mothers.
I don't know. Anyway, 210-308-8867 is our number. Give us a call. Be a part of the show. Call us with your questions. Was there some questions that we were going to ask people to be a part,
What?
like we were looking for reports on something?
Oh, reports. Well, we were looking for hummingbirds. I saw my first hummingbird.
Oh, okay.
I guess the second one. The first one was here.
We've seen quite a few here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of hummingbirds out in my neighborhood right now.
So, can we go there for a second?
Sure.
Okay. So, birding is also, I think it's second to gardening in America's favorite pastime and hobby. So, what birds? I was watching something on, as Mark likes to say, the Facebook.
Book of Faces.
The Book of Faces.
Yeah.
And they were talking about all these birds that you could see right now. But it was like, I don't know if that's San Antonio or not. So what can I see right now if I have a
San Antonio is one of the best places.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. I mean, it's great. It's a lot of our neighborhoods have you got a lot of covered plants. You got, just here at the nursery, you've got all these nectar plants. And if you have anywhere near, a variety at your landscape, you're going to get a huge choice of plant. I did a little list.
Oh, really?
And count. Yeah, I did it over a 3-month period. It's a seasonal period. In my neighborhood, you can count on getting, if you're conscientious and watching, you can count on getting at least 50 species.
Whoa.
If you got water.
Okay. Water seems to be a biggie.
Water's a key.
Okay.
Feeding helps too, especially in the wintertime with suet and things. But the water, and then if you've got nectar plants and landscape plants, then you're gonna have all kinds of birds. Right now, let's see some of the new
what I see now.
Flycatchers, ash-throated flycatchers. There's a lot of them around.
Scissortails coming in.
Well, the scissortails are out in the open areas a little bit more, like Mitchell Lake.
That's what I was going to say. San Antonio has lots of different types of ecosystems or ecotones that you can find different birds in.
Yeah, I had one gardener. I did my question and answer column, and they asked about the Roadrunners.
Oh.
You know, they when it showed up in their neighborhood, and they were, what do they eat?
Yeah.
You know, and of course,
they're kind of carnivorous too, aren't they?
Oh gosh, yeah, whatever they can get at. I guess I've told you the story that as long as they were the ones in my neighborhood were eating lizards and rodents, my wife thought that was great. And they were, and roadrunners get bolder and bolder, and they get used to your dogs and your cats. Not real afraid of cats.
That's interesting. Wow, really?
But
how do the cats feel about them?
Well, most cats
indifferent. It's a cat.
Yeah, most cats kind of.
That's what they feel about everything. Okay.
But
that's odd because it would seem like they move in such a way. I mean, like the cats in our yard and the neighborhood, they love squirrels. They
chase squirrels.
Yes.
Not in my neighborhood.
Really? Oh, how interesting. I wonder why. Yeah, they do in ours. They stalk them. They're like.
But the thing that the roadrunners that do, if you have bird feeders, the roadrunners, it doesn't take them long to figure out, especially underneath the feeder or just hang right there, and the English sparrows and cardinals and everything come down and get pieces that have dropped to the ground, and they just picked them off. And that kind of Judy lost her affection for the roadrunners when she noticed that they not only were they catching the birds, they were dragging them out in front of the window there on the
they were
patio, which is easier to eat them right there.
Yeah. So right now, if I do everything right, and how much is like everything right? Yeah, I got to have water. Do I have to have a whole water fountain and a whole thing, or can I just use a trash can lid with,
Well, you can. The more you have, the more action you get.
Okay.
But
so what's the minimal I can do to get some action? Oh, that sounded
one bird bath will get some action.
Okay, but if I don't have a bird bath, can I just make one?
Well, of course.
A trash can lid?
Yeah, the trash can lid's working.
No.
And don't make it too deep, right?
Right. That, and the other key characteristic is do not have any kind of shrubbery or rocks or something around that.
Oh, where the cats can hide.
Where predators can hide. Now, birds are aware of that.
No, there's a modification on that.
Oh, yeah?
I always say 6 feet. Keep it open 6 feet.
Okay.
Then, because beyond the 6 feet, and I don't know if this is my imagination or what, but it gives the birds some cover from hawks. And
so that's what I was going to mention is edge. We call edge. So that'd be some shrubbery or brush and some trees, and then they can get into that. The distance, I guess, is, I don't know, somewhere. I like 8, but 6 to 8 feet.
Yeah, just cover, and they get pretty tame and bold.
The birds do.
Yeah, the birds do. They get used to. Sometimes it irritates them when you're out there working in the garden, and they're interested in getting in the bird baths, and but the minute you walk in to get a drink or something, you come back and they're all in there.
And I have seen, I'll have to see if we sell them here, somebody again on the Face of Books, the Books of Face, whatever.
The Book of Faces.
Book of Faces, talking about a solar-powered fountain. And it's just a little thing, I guess you put in the water and it spurts it, so it would keep it up. If
you remember, you had mentioned that before.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and we didn't have them here, but you were going to go look on online to look.
Oh yeah, on the internet there.
Yeah.
Oh, in fact, the selection is huge, and they're inexpensive, and you can just get electronic ones too. I mean, I've used the same electric one, just a plug-in. They just last forever and ever and ever, and they can even dry out, and you just fill them again, and they're still working. So we
have a great selection of bird baths here, so I'll have to go check them out when the show gets over and see what we got. All right, 210, thank you, Calvin, 210-308-8867. Oh, I was going to reiterate. So you're saying cardinals we can see now?
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Okay.
The young cardinals already.
And then some of the
house
the
finches.
Okay.
Yeah, the ones
those
with
are
the
pretty.
red.
Yeah, those are very pretty.
Yeah. And, of course,
hummingbirds?
white-winged doves, the hummingbirds, the chickadees and titmice, and
do we have
orange-crowned warblers.
I mean, I've heard reports of buntings, painted buntings.
Well, I saw some this spring, but I haven't seen any for a few days.
Okay, that was
at least 3 different kinds of woodpeckers: the hairy, the downy, and the and the
I don't hear them as much as. Are they little less active than normal? Because normally, I'm sorry, Al, if I go out our backyard, I hear.
Oh, well, the ones that make the most noise are the golden crown.
Oh, okay. They're the most active and
they're bigger.
Okay.
And they're the ones that hang around the feeders.
Okay.
They're insect eaters. They love the suet.
Huh. Okay. So lots to see, and if you spot anything else, tell us. But it's kind of fun.
Cover. Yeah. Cover is one of the keys, and we've talked about you can even use rose plants for cover. Traces.
A metabolist.
Metabolist
yes, excellent.
is a good one. And constantly blooming, and it's also the birds can feed, look for insects in there and hide in there. And then all the ivies. I mean, all
the hollies that we like.
Yeah.
And,
viburnums.
All right, and 210-308-8867 is our number. And if you have a question as it relates to this, or you're kind of wondering how you can have birds. And actually, I had an interesting interview for my In the Loop show. I interviewed someone with the Nature Conservancy, and they were talking about the different.
Suzanne?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so we were talking about the different places in the area and. That have been saved for wildlife and stuff like that. We were talking about the Bracken bat caves.
Yes.
That they were a part of kind of preserving and
I think the old tunnel was initially Nature Conservancy.
Was it the one?
Did Suzanne explain when she moved over to the?
No.
Oh.
No. You'll have to ask her. So, anyway.
Can we get her on the air?
Yeah, we'll get her on. Call us, Suzanne.
She stopped at the show, remember?
Yeah, remember? That's how I got a card. But yeah, they do great stuff, and it's on throughout the week, and then we podcast it. So, but yeah, we were talking about some of that as well. 210-308-8867.
Did everybody vote?
Yes.
Today is voting day.
Yep. So we should have like a little election. Your favorite summer color plant?
Yeah. I like that.
Okay. So if you want to call and vote for your favorite summer color, Calvin, do you want to tell us who you're voting for?
I
don't know.
I think I'll vote for the zinnia.
Okay.
Well, he took my vote. Can we have multiple votes? I guess it is.
Yeah, we need to give them positions. We need to there's the.
Okay. Categories.
Categories. Okay.
Okay. So full sun.
Full sun. Okay.
Zinnias. I go with Calvin on full sun.
Okay.
Now I seem to remember one for the shade. I haven't seen it in a long time, but the whopper, the begonia whopper.
Yeah.
That's a great one for the shade.
There seems to be a mystery about the begonia whoppers.
But the ones that how are yours doing that you carried over from the winter?
I've got 9.
Yeah.
9 out of I think about 26. 9 that came back out of 26.
Wow. And I tell you what, I'm going to start a whole thing on indestructible plants. The Purple Heart seems fairly indestructible. And remember I told you that I put some by the oak tree and you were like, okay, that's okay. You didn't mess it up. The oak tree's not going to die tomorrow. You'll be fine. So the ones that I planted.
I wasn't that extra or histrionic on it.
But now one of the little things that basically I just cut and stuck is now blooming. That little purplish pink flower.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's only been in there for a week, and it's doing great. But I love them. That's great.
Well, you remember in the old when we had the big drought. I don't know how many years ago that was.
And 2011 was a really bad one.
And we were collecting to give people some options.
Yeah.
We were collecting Purple Heart.
Yeah.
And so if you had spare Purple Heart, you'd bring it into the office. It was one of our old sauce office, and we would. And there was a pile a spot that you would put them back there, and then we'd load them up and distributed them to the nurseries and all. And of course, the spot where you dumped them was soon taken over by.
That's what
Purple
y'all
Heart.
said. That's why I was kind of like, okay. When they broke off, when I was doing some weeding, and they broke off because I bumped into them, I go, you know what? I'm going to follow what they said. And actually, I probably did more than that. I stuck them in the ground. Y'all were talking about just laying them on the ground, I think.
You know, we could, Milton, we could probably start our whoppers, too.
You think?
Yeah, I haven't found it necessary to do it, but...
How do you propagate them? Do you have a...
Well, you just... a lot of times it just works to stick them in the ground.
Okay.
Like you did.
Maybe a little rooting hormone or no?
Well, if you
Couldn't
want
hurt.
to. It's not necessary, but you could.
And where am I cutting them? Because as I read more online, now that on Facebook you go to one thing and do a little, and then boom, 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 you are targeted. But
they kind of break at joints.
Oh, at joints, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And am I cutting it? Like, am I taking it below 2 leaves or below the blah 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 or the?
Yes.
They break at joints.
Okay, so they break at joints and put them in.
You put them right in.
Oh, good. I'm going to try that. Bright sun, out of the sun.
No, out of the,
Anywhere.
you don't want them in the sun because
Okay.
they're a shade plant to begin with. But they will. You put them in almost no sun to get them to start.
Okay.
Now they tend to flower a little bit more. They tend to have a brighter purple color a little bit more with more sun.
Oh.
Yeah, but you
I
don't
need to
have
root
to start them in the root.
Start them in shade.
Yeah, I'm starting them in shade. Okay, I'm going to remember all those little peat pots I got?
Yeah.
I'm going to put them in that.
Okay.
This is exciting.
It is.
It is for me. I'm enjoying this. I'm really kind of getting into it. I also, I'll tell
Only
you more.
took him 26 years.
I know. Well, I kind of dabbled, but now I'm like, I think it was the zucchini that really sold me. The zucchini made it for me. But, we got a zucchini that has a nose. I'll have to take a picture of it. Is that common sometimes?
You mean on the
weird
fruit
shape?
Yeah, the fruit syllable.
Yes. So it's round, this thick, about 2 inches thick or an inch thick, and then it comes down to this and this little nose. Looks like
the end didn't fill out. In other words.
Hey, as long as we're talking squash, let's put out or see is anybody growing Mexicans.
There you go. When you had mentioned it last week, I went, we need to ask everybody.
Yeah.
The Tatuma.
Mm-hmm.
Tatuma, and then what's the other one? Starts with a C. Another name for them.
It's Calabacita.
Oh yeah.
So if you've grown any of those, or if hopefully you've had great luck. If not, leave and let us know.
Yeah.
Because we expect it to be one of the easiest things to grow in the garden, especially from seed. Yeah.
Okay.
But you're right.
And I have a little experience.
Huh?
So I found a couple seeds and I put them in. They came up quick. And so, so I'll tell you, so I just have sprouts that are probably 2.5, 3 inches. So I'll have to keep you informed.
Well, and the seeds too last for a long time.
Oh, good. Okay.
Of course, all those big seeds.
These lasted a while. So, I'm sorry, Mark, I interrupted you. What were you going to say? And then we'll go to break.
I forgot.
Okay.
Must have not been important.
No, I'm sure it was very important. We'll come back and you'll think of it during the break. Verbena. You were going to say something about verbena?
No.
That's Calvin.
It was wrong.
Calvin
it was
doesn't
viburnum.
Get it
It was viburnum.
Was it viburnum?
Yes,
I'm sorry, viburnum. Okay.
A week. It's only been a week.
I know, but I knew it was a V. So viburnum.
Well, very good.
Okay. Calvin, do you remember that?
The viburnum? Oh,
The
yeah.
viburnum yell.
I couldn't remember viburnum.
So she walked away knowing Calvin would remember as soon as she left, and all of a sudden Calvin went, viburnum! Okay. So...
well, she's
you're-
obviously had experience with older men.
Oh.
Because she just didn't, she just expected that would be the behavior that would
And
occur.
apparently she was right.
Yeah.
So, we are going to take this opportunity to take a quick break. 210-308-8867. So, we're looking for Tatuma Squash reports. We're looking for you're voting for your favorite summer color. And that's it. But yes, sir?
And we talked about your spinach last week.
Oh,
You're,
the
you,
Malabar?
And several gardeners have asked for more information about it.
Oh, on the Malabar?
Malabar.
Good.
yeah.
We'll talk about that right after this. On Milberger's Gardening, South Texas, on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas, on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Father's Day is not tomorrow, but next Sunday. And if you're looking for a great gift idea, then head on over to Prusky's Market. Absolutely. You can get Dad, Edmund has a funny slogan. You think Dad wants a necktie or a big juicy ribeye? Yeah, you know what the answer is. It's that big juicy ribeye, and you'll find it there at Prusky's Market. I went there this week. I might have something to bring in tomorrow. I'm not going to say. Just we'll see. But yeah, I got some sausage and some beef and all kinds of great stuff. Prusky's Market on Highway 87 is the place to go. It's an old-fashioned meat market. That means you get great quality. It also means that you get great service. So if you're looking for if Dad's going to grill or you're going to grill for Dad or you're just cooking him an outstanding meal, well, then head on over to Prusky's Market on Highway 87 between 410 and 1604 in Atkins, Texas, and by golly, you will be so happy you did. You'll find sausage, poultry, everything that you can heat and eat. So Prusky's Market, the website, pruskysmeatmarket.com. That's pruskysmeatmarket.com. All right, 210-308-8867 is our number. Did you want to talk about Malabar spinach?
Yeah. The question I had, we had mentioned it, and they were looking for something more to grow in the vegetable garden, and that was an option. And then they said, "Well, is that the same as spinach?" And
Tastes.
that's not. I think it's different genus and species, but it works well in the spinach recipes. They said, "Does it work well in the cooking recipes as well as in the fresh?"
I've just cut it and eaten.
Yeah, salad recipes.
But I bet it does.
Yeah.
well, that's the unique characteristic of it. You can just pinch a leaf or cut a leaf and just chew it fresh.
And you said you've seen it in hanging baskets?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it works well in here.
Okay.
But it's amazing how, as long as you can keep it watered, how much it grows.
Okay.
Did you grow yours in full sun?
The last one, last summer, morning sun, afternoon shade.
And they did fine.
Yeah. But I may
wondering
go
how
I have another one I got to plant. I may go full sun. And
I think
I'm
it
gonna go
does all
hanging
right
basket.
with full sun.
Yes. The ones that I helped grow in Brackettville, they were all in full sun.
Oh, good.
And they were on little trellises, small little trellises. They were growing like a vine, so that it would leaf down and hang down.
How much did you fertilize them?
It's surprisingly it's sandy soil out that way, and they needed some fertilization.
Do you have a question? Can we ask it on the air? We're doing our show. Will you come on the air with us? No. Okay. Calvin, you want to help him out? 210-308-8867. I'm not going to give him tickets to Festival of Flowers.
No, well, we don't have them printed for 2026.
Oh, okay.
That was pretty good that you had asked me, and I had the number right on the top of my or on the tip of my tongue. 25 years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, last year.
Isn't that amazing?
I mean, this past
26
week.
will be coming up. So I guess we started the turn of century.
Or the last millennia.
No, 25 years is we're in 2025, so
Yeah.
the first one would have been in 2000,
but,
right?
But Yes, but the year before that would have been at the last millennia.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I don't want to go there. But you'll have to help me. So with this one too. Sorry, it's like Milton's Garden questions.
Yeah.
So
I think we have to have the number one principle of Milton's Garden is patience.
Mm-hmm.
So you sent me,
the
Calvin,
picture.
a little photo, and boy, it looks like a large salvia. Mm-hmm.
Just a little lower. There you go. What's that?
It looked like a large leaf salvia.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, but I wasn't sure because I couldn't see the stem or the leaves.
Oh, okay.
And the reason is salvias tend to be. They are opposite branching, and they tend to have square stems.
Okay.
Right, like mints.
Ooh, okay. I thought it may be based on some other stuff. It was the. I feel bad now because I just pulled it out. But I thought maybe it was just another.
And that's why I said the first word of this conversation is patience.
Well, it was right in my pentas and stuff, but I thought it was just going to be another Ruellia, the wild Ruellia.
That could have been.
Yeah, because that's all over the yard.
But the leaves were fairly far from the trunk of the stalk.
Oh, okay.
So whereas Ruellia, we look over here at the many types that we have here at Milberger's, they would be closer to the trunk.
Okay.
The leaves.
We'll see it's too late now.
Well, yes.
But it'll come back. It was easy to pick out. Holy cow, you just had to barely pull.
Oh, okay.
And it came right out. But
maybe it wasn't salvia. I don't know.
Or salvia's a little tough.
It was not a 4 o'clock, so that was...
No, I think you're right. No. All right, well, maybe I'll be patient with the rest of it. But yeah, it's amazing now that I'm really trying to do stuff with that, how quickly you clean a bed out on Sunday, and then by the next Friday, it's like, oh my gosh, it's got stuff in it all over again.
Oh, particularly if we had a rain in between.
Oh, that's true. Well,
Speaking of rain...
Did you see what was blooming?
No. What was blooming?
The Sinisa? Oh, boy, are they blooming. Drive down...
So the scientific models...
Yes? I don't need no scientific model.
Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday now.
Yeah.
So, and a fairly decent amount. The percentage is going to be 55 to 65%.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I saw 50. It doesn't go... Maybe
I think Thursday... I may have misread it.
No. Mine only went to Wednesday. So you probably have a longer forecast than I do. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, well... But yeah, I'll get the... there we go, 7-day forecast. Tuesday...
No,
40, this does say Tuesday.
Oh,
Chance of rain, 40%. Tuesday night, 50. Wednesday, 60.
Yeah.
Wow, we have good chances all the way through Thursday. 50% Wednesday night, 40% Thursday, 20% Thursday night, and 30% on Friday. Yep, good. I'm going to start like a little Sinisa calendar and put when they bloomed.
There
seriously,
you go.
If you want
that's what I say. It
scientific.
That would be more scientific.
But if you want to, two places I have seen them going down Lock Hill, Selma. They're just in Castle Hills and people's yard.
Yeah. But anywhere it's Pacific or just in everybody's home.
Oh no, just in somebody's home.
Oh, yeah.
We driving by and it looked pretty, but I drove down to Sprouts on Bulverde Road.
Correct.
Wow. Wowie zowie.
Along TPC, is that where it is? Yeah,
TPC. No. This is
Evans.
This is an apartment complex that used them as a hedge, and so now it has gone from being a big green hedge to a big purple hedge. You got to do it. I'm telling you, it looks great. What?
I will resist.
Why will you resist? You can't resist. All right, Calvin, you were talking to somebody. You don't have to come on the air with us, but it helps everybody out. But can you talk about what y'all were talking about?
Yeah, he had planted tomatoes. He said they were here from Milberger's, and they weren't producing any fruit. And so
Okay.
we explored it a bit, and they were in partial shade, so that was part of the problem. They fertilization. He didn't use much fertilization. He relied on a soil mix. And so what I reminded him that the tomatoes require a lot of fertilization, full sun, and that we're at the point now that we are going to pull the summer tomatoes by about July 1st, and then replant in the third week of July or so for the fall, and then he should find a spot that had more sun, and then use the best fertilizer I've found is 1959 for the garden, or Osmocote if you're growing tomatoes in containers.
I'm growing it in containers using Osmocote and the rodeo tomato, because remember you were nice enough to give us one, and wow, we have been picking tomatoes off and putting them on the windowsill. I mean, and huge ones, like tennis ball size.
How big is your garden? How big is your container?
Big container, maybe 5 gallon.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I mean, a 5 gallon is only a bucket.
Yeah, it's about right. But it's a little deeper than that. There's another hummingbird.
As much as we talk about this,
Yes.
about has to be 20 or more.
No, mine's working fine.
Okay, all right. Now here's my story on this.
Okay,
interesting story.
Oh, I'd like
because
that.
it would fit this gentleman's problems or scenario. So, myself and my neighbor are growing Sweet 100s. I gave him the plant. His pot and container is in full sun, 13 hours a day.
Okay.
Mine is has shade from 4 o'clock on.
Okay. Which probably is closer to what mine does.
So he has 5 times the amount of tomatoes.
Oh my gosh!
as I
Really?
do. Same plant, same time we planted.
Wow. Okay.
Same size container
How does he water?
by hand.
So
And
he
I
must
have
water
to-
every day, huh?
Yes, or I have to remind him, or I do it for him. But yes, every day,
Yeah.
sometimes twice a day.
That's one of the special keys. If you have a small container, right, you have no reservoir.
Yeah.
And tomatoes will grow as much water and as much nutrients as they have. They'll take advantage of it.
Okay.
So if you can keep them watered and fertilized, they'll produce a lot of fruit even in a small container. The problem with one of the problems with small containers, though, are
Yeah.
that they get top heavy.
Oh.
You know, if you get in the
topples?
wind.
And yes, that has happened to me.
Okay.
They all got top heavy. So same fertilization, same watering,
And yours is
just different sun.
different sun. Yeah, I'm growing ours exactly the same place as the zucchini and the cucumbers, and it's going gangbusters, and they're good. Oh boy, are they good!
Are they good?
8148, right?
Yeah.
They are really delicious.
Huh.
Have you pulled any?
Well, I haven't had as good luck with them as I have with tycoons and celebrities.
Okay.
I've had some problem with spider mites.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah.
I don't want spider mites.
Yeah, no, I
Nobody
don't,
does.
I don't like spider mites. I went ahead and planted my BHN.
Oh, the 968? Oh,
yeah.
good.
Oh,
Yeah, I was trying. It was kind of anticlimactic. Wish I hadn't have 7 that I had to find places for.
No,
But
you could have given some to Mark and I.
yeah, well,
Maybe.
so that you could kill them.
Maybe.
No.
I'm not killing things.
no.
I'm the one that's getting tomatoes. I didn't kill those. Those are tough. They're resistant to my.
Put a couple
effort.
in half whiskey barrels, and then I put
Okay.
the other. I take that back. I put 5 in half whiskey barrels and
Okay.
two in the regular garden.
All right. Well, anyway, I'm sorry you don't like my container. You container shame me.
Yes, we will.
Okay.
But that's the fact that you're getting good production.
Oh,
Yeah,
my goodness.
I don't miss.
What did you fertilize with?
Osmocote. Yeah.
Yeah.
Osmocote, and Laura did some Miracle Grow water.
Oh, that's good. Too.
Yeah, so, yep. And I'll say this before we go to break. So, you remember the thing I was asking you to ask Bart about?
About the petunias?
Yeah. I only had one little twig left. I mean, it was pathetic. But Mark taught me patience. So I put it...
No, this is an ongoing thing.
Yes.
I haven't taught you patience. You are learning.
I am learning patience. Thank you, Mark's son. But so I had the one little stick that just was trying, and watered it, took care of it, and it's now growing and it's blooming. That one poor little stick is blooming. So yeah, I'm happy. I hope we get more before it gets too cold or too hot. But
well, it's mine are blooming up a storm.
yeah, I know. But I had that pot that wasn't draining. Remember?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So they were just they basically rotted.
In fact, I was expecting them with the heat to decline, so I went ahead and let them share my new porterweed. I put in the same containers with the petunias, and they're both going strong.
Cool.
And the hummingbirds, of course, have found the porterweed. But it surprises me too that I didn't expect the hummingbirds to be as interested in those laurel bush petunias as they are.
Really?
Yeah, they like that lavender colored, purple color, and they visit them. It seems like just as much as they visit the
That's neat.
porterweed.
Okay, so again, before we go to break, what should I do now to help this bad boy thrive? Now that I have gotten it, now that it's fought back and it wants to live.
Well, if you can get Laura to give it some of the Miracle Grow.
Oh, okay, but I can put Osmocote on it too. But we can do the Miracle Grow.
Osmocote. Except the Osmocote, you'll be investing, and a lot of the nitrogen will be still there when your petunia is gone, whereas the Miracle Grow
it'll be
will get
immediate.
used up by the petunia.
Okay, that's what we'll do.
But the Miracle Grow will be used by the next plant year.
I've told this story so many times, people know exactly where I'm going. I want what they had over at Quality Organic Products, which was just a whole bed of these beautiful petunias that they complained. One of them complained, and they come back year after year. I don't know what this thing is. We can't kill it. It's like, wow. Okay. So 210-308-8867. We're going to take a quick break. Nelson's got a home for that rosemary. Back after this on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Our phone number 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. Give us a call. Tell us what's going on. Looking for reports. And you know what we need to do, to be fair? We can do it tomorrow, too. Father's Day gift ideas. We did Mother's Day gift ideas.
Yeah.
So Father's Day gift ideas for Dad. Maybe you want to do that tomorrow, or you want to do that later?
No, I'm just watching a gentleman here asking one of the staff members, and I could overhear he was looking for the watering devices.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So talk about a dad's gift.
Yeah.
Either one of the wonderful wands that we have, or a hose, or a hose-in hand sprayer.
So, cool. Did you have something that you wanted to bring up?
No, I just wrote down the alternate names for the Vitex.
Oh, okay. Texas, what was it? Chased?
Lilac Chase Tree and Vitex.
Yep, okay.
Yeah.
And there's a whole long story, but we won't go into that right now.
Now, what about the
Oh, okay.
Mark, you got any? Remind us about the invasive nature of that.
All right. So, like many of the plants that are invasive or we consider invasive, lots of times there's regional emphasis on that. So the Vitex and the Chinese tallow and our wonderful invasive. I'm trying to think. Not what's the one we always talk about in the fall that turns red?
China.
Chinese passage?
Yeah,
Yes.
there we go. Chinese. Thank you, Milton.
Sure. My pleasure.
They tend to be more invasive in areas which are wetter. So, is Vitex invasive in our area? Yes, but not to the extent further east.
Well, and then a lot of neighborhoods, it doesn't seem to be invasive, but we've had reports from good gardeners that say, well, this certainly is here.
So I every time I say, well, it's not, it is invasive, but not very much, then I also all of a sudden get phone calls or text messages from the master naturalists and other groups that are trying to remove them from our native areas.
Just to remind everybody, a native plant can be invasive too.
Correct.
Yeah, sure.
We have a tendency to be more tolerant of a native plant, but it can they can be a problem in some areas, just like where the conditions aren't competitive for it. But I'm trying to think of one that is real invasive, but I can't think of a native one.
Well, cedar has always been called invasive, and it's invasive only because we don't have periodic fires to keep it on the hillsides. So it is a native plant. That's the one that that comes to mind in the garden. There's a couple of flowers that I think are very invasive. Petunia Mexican petunia is one.
Oh,
oh gosh.
Oh, look, see, she's got one that's blooming too. What?
Well, it's like I thought you were going to say, "Oh, look, there's a Mexican petunia."
No, there's a beautiful. Calvin was talking about how good his Sinisa looked, and then she walked by with a nice Sinisa. I'm sure Trey sells more of them when they're in bloom because they look great.
Well, yeah.
I know.
Well, yeah.
I'm just making a
But
so anyway,
it's amazing though because they are much more in favor 10, maybe 15 years ago because they were unpredictable in their blooms and everything. And of course, there weren't as many selections as there are now. But they didn't, and maybe we didn't push them, advertise them, or push them.
What's that, Sinisa?
Yeah.
Oh, well, like many things that predict things in the future, they're misunderstood.
Well,
I think that a lot has to do with what you just said.
Yeah.
There were not very many varieties or selections, and now there are.
And then we remind everybody that you can prune them, and the deer do not eat them, and they fit in every landscape, and they're drought tolerant.
Yeah.
They don't much like shade,
and they have an interesting folklorical background.
No, yes.
Some people think that they predict rainfall.
Yep. I seem to predict that. Paul Cox did. I am willing to go with Paul Cox. As he said, the old-timers believed it, and he believed it. So, yes, I'm going to believe it. And I've seen it. So, yeah.
Is this the same Paul Cox that wanted to tie the rabbit's legs together?
No, he wanted to cut the little thing, their things.
I didn't want to bring...
But this is the... But...
Let's move on.
No, we're not going to move on because this is the same Paul Cox that y'all mocked when he said we have porterweed. Do you remember that?
Of course not.
Yeah, yeah. I remember it because it was like I was with y'all. But now, Paul called in and said that the botanical garden...
It's not the best name.
No, that's what...
Well, Paul is notorious for not naming the best names.
Yeah. Did you hear that story? So we were doing something in
I did not.
Botanical Garden, and Paul called in and said, Yeah, and we have a whole lot of porterweed left, a whole lot of porterweed. At which point,
Everything else we've
we
sold and distributed.
yeah. At which point, someone said, "Maybe it's because you're calling it a weed. That's a horrible name." Now, yeah. But apparently, we like porterweed now. We've come along,
Gosh, yeah.
come around to.
That was another one that we've learned to appreciate because of its attraction to our
butterflies and
So Paul was ahead of his.
pollinators.
yeah, pollinators.
Yep.
And then it's such a weird, attractive plant.
It really is, and it's tough too. It is. It takes a beating for me.
In the summer,
Yeah, I mean it is, and it's a
doesn't take
perennial,
much of a
right?
beating in the winter, though.
No.
Well, but it just like I'll forget to water, and then I'll water it the next day after it's been drooping, and it just perks right back up. And it
Now,
starts
I've
blooming
learned
again.
that some gardeners manage to keep it alive over the winter. They
Oh, really?
move it into the greenhouse. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the way you would keep it alive over the winter. It's a tropical plant.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm liking it a lot. So thank you for the suggestion, Calvin. Nice job.
Yeah, I think it's a great plant, a great addition to our butterfly.
Oh, I need your advice on. And y'all will find this funny. So we got some cannas. They're on sale here at Millburgers for
Brazilian
$68.
skippers.
Oh, he just yells things out. I don't know why.
Well, that's because
that's what the can is like?
If I don't, I'll forget.
Yes, yes, exactly. It took
So-
us a while to find that, and
So,
now we're going to remember.
I called Laura when I came over on Thursday, and I said, okay, they've got the cannas, and there are 4 different choices. There's orange, yellow, pink, and red. Which one do you want? I'll get one.
All of them.
Don't get one. Why are you getting one? So we got 3. We just have to plant them now.
Just 3.
So she knows
Which
what
one didn't you choose?
No, we got all pink. We got all pink and
all pink,
yep.
not red. I would have gone with red.
Were you going with red?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the pink looks very pretty. So anyway, y'all would appreciate that since you tell me I just buy one thing, and I forget why I brought that up. There was another reason that I just bought one of something, and yeah.
Well,
I think I just bought.
You want us to guess what that is?
It could have been anything I bought. I did buy.
One is usually cheaper than 2.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
That's the why. And I will tell you too, for the fun of it, that I bought 1 blue plumbago. That's all you needed to buy. It seemed like.
Spread.
Oh, is it spread?
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a number of years, and it's just taken over. So I'm trying to figure out if what Laura did last year, 2 years ago, was just cut it down where it had spread, and she stuck it in the front. And she literally, just like you were talking about with the whoppers, stuck it in the ground, and it rooted and came back, and now it's spread throughout the front bed. So now I have to kind of manage it. So, but it's fun.
You know, another topic that we talk a lot about that is kind of interesting. There seems to be more positive information about the tropical milkweed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a lot of folks are not a lot, but some of the researchers are saying, "Well, here's the behavior, and here's the chemistry that this tropical milkweed is providing, and here's how it contributes, or detracts from the population." Much more sympathetic
good.
research audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
What-
because it's one of those too, though, that is a plant that's spreading and spreading. It's so attractive.
Right. For various reasons. I'm glad to hear that because, 1, it is more attractive, and 2, it seems to attract the monarchs, so that's good.
Yeah. Now, it's one of the big issues is whether it does. The migration numbers seem to be declining, and some gardeners or researchers give the tropical milkweed some of the credit, not a positive credit, but that it's making it easier for the monarchs not to migrate.
Yeah, that's what we talked
And
about.
then,
with what's her name?
other researchers saying, doesn't matter. the monarchs.
Yeah, it's a fascinating topic.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty exciting.
All right, 210-308-8867 is our number. We're going to take a break in a minute to get you caught up with the news. But we encourage you to call in. We want to get your ideas for Father's Day gifts. We want to get your ideas for the best summer color. And we want hummingbird reports and maybe tomato reports. What do you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, tomato reports too. Back after this on 9:30 a.m.
That's right. The harvest should be started.
Yeah, after this on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
We're back with Milberger's Gardening South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Bulverde Road. Come out to visit or call us at 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. And now back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867, the number to call. Poor Mark's having some trouble over there. Oh, what did she get? Are those the Coras and the Vinca? Is that what she's got?
I think they are, yeah.
Yeah, those are pretty too. We don't talk about those as much as we used to. And look, there's no deer bothering them.
No, there aren't.
The deer seem to be leaving her
Really?
and her.
She heard her.
Oh, did she?
Yes.
Oh, that's funny.
She gave you a smile.
All right, 210-308-8867. So before we get to your article, or did you have something you wanted to cover?
No.
No? Not yet?
No.
Okay, so I want to know two things. One, if I still have some zinnia seeds, can I still plant them, or is it too late?
No, you got plenty of time.
Yay! And Cosmos from seed too?
Yes,
Okay.
but let's see.
Where did
I was going to say yes, but generally Cosmos are already blooming right
No,
now.
rats.
Well, it's,
No, don't worry about it.
Okay.
now the thing about the difference between Cosmos and zinnias, the zinnias quite often, if it's a mild winter,
Yeah.
the seeds will germinate in the spring too.
Okay. Which may be a little bit of what happened.
If they drop the seed. Now, Cosmos usually don't. They're much more sensitive to cold weather. But I haven't seen many Cosmos.
No, I don't. Yeah, I haven't either.
Part of that is that probably the complication of the weather, that dry weather and everything.
So
roller coaster weather.
where should I put Cosmos seeds? And then I have one more question.
Full sun,
Full sun. Okay.
and where you got some almost like in the wildflower areas, but they'll do fine in.
Oh,
the
that's
garden,
interesting. So, is your meadow kaput?
Actually,
We
no.
both have wildflower meadow.
I made a decision about mostly cutting it down right now. The still got some of the wildflowers growing.
I think I have some bee balm growing.
Yeah, I got
I
bee
have this little
balm,
thistly pink purple.
and
Does that sound bee balmish?
Yeah, it looks like a cake. It has kind of several layers.
Oh, okay.
On that purple.
I'll have to look at it again.
Still lots of lobelia
Okay.
and coreopsis. Most of the coreopsis, though, has gone to seed. And I hesitated to cut it down because the lesser goldfinches like to collect the seed. But the other thing that I really wanted to cut down was that darn pigweed. That stuff, that rain came. I never seen anything, grow 4 feet in a week.
I got to look up pigweed. Is that what you said?
Yeah, pigweed or mullein.
I got to see if I have that.
You can't forget about it. I mean, you can't forget it.
Oh, no, I don't have that.
Yeah. It's also in the amaranth family.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it says pigweed amaranth.
Yeah.
In a YouTube video called Garden Weeds You Can Eat.
Yeah.
Can you eat pigweed amaranth?
Yeah.
Have you ever eaten pigweed amaranth?
No.
Okay. I don't know. I was wondering how it tasted.
That may have been a Patty. Patty
okay.
Tesor. She's a very well-known ethnobotanist.
Okay. Oh, here's something on Google. What is pigweed used for? The plant is edible. This is according to Northern Arizona University. Leaves are eaten raw like spinach and used for tea. Oh, that's interesting.
Amaranth, yeah.
That's what it says, yeah.
And then
High in calcium, protein, and fiber.
Yeah, and then the seeds were ground.
It's oil.
Yeah.
And it says oil is used.
So some of them have thorns.
Oh. But you had the pigweed. You got rid of the pigweed?
No, but
I thought you got rid of it.
There's a lot of amaranths.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And I call them all pigweeds, but
Oh, okay.
some are easier to eat than others.
I've got to mow the yard. This is my weekend to mow the yard. So I'm thinking of pretty much kind of like you said, taking everything out because 90% of it is just all dried twigs and stuff.
But it's hard.
It is hard because there's still some things kind of
blooming. Yeah.
But if I
firewheel.
Oh yeah. Well, no, I think I'm out of firewheel. But if I have just some soil underneath it, which is what happened last time, could I put my cosmos there? My cosmos seeds?
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
All right.
Now with your moisture in your soil.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, the cosmos seeds probably germinate right without anything else.
That'll be fun because they're pretty, aren't they? They look pretty.
Oh yeah. They're not disciplined, but they're pretty.
I don't need discipline.
I might put some liatris, some gay feather, because it blooms in the fall.
Some what?
Liatris.
How do you spell that?
Liatris.
Liatris. Oh, there it is. A blazing star.
Yeah, that's another name.
Oh, look at that! Wow. I guess I have to get seeds of that.
Yeah, you can get some seeds, but it's very, very, very easy to get some seeds. You know, some of our favorite seed vendors. So.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Do we have any?
I'm sure.
I would look.
It says there's
because we probably do have some in our seed racks,
and it's a very dense plant.
You know, it's a tall.
The picture is,
but the flower is dense. Yeah, it's like a bottle brush. I don't want to say a bottle brush, but you know, a brush that you would clean bottles with.
Okay, I was trying. Looks like a Q-tip. No, a big purple Q-tip. No, okay.
You go there.
Of course, the other thing that's blooming still, which will bloom right till the winter time, is that Salvia coccinea. With the red flowers, you know, that we
and that's a great salvia because it tolerates shade.
It does.
Partial shade.
And
we have that, don't we?
Colors are intense.
Yeah, Calvin made for great radio and went over his shoulder.
Behind his shoulder?
Yeah, so it's behind his shoulder over there.
So the other thing I was going to ask you is is it too late if I get the petunia, the Laura Bush petunia seeds here at Millburgers? I'm pretty sure they have them from Wild Seed Farms, and plant those. Is it too late to do that or no?
Actually, they'll grow in the fall too.
Yeah. So I'm like going, well, maybe a little early, but not too late. In other words,
get them. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm thinking that maybe you should see them or sow them in August or September.
Okay. So I'll wait and get them then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you'll forget.
I may forget. So maybe
yeah.
You're going to remind me?
If it rains,
yes, I will remind you.
If you don't have any confidence in your plant out there that says it's going to rain,
I have plenty of confidence in my plant.
See, if it rains, they might even come up in the summertime.
Now you got me going. Okay, I got it.
Maybe.
Maybe I'll get some.
Is it supposed to be less than 100 degrees? Is there
I didn't look at that.
For this week was 100 degrees.
Let's see. So today, the high is 98. But and then tomorrow the high is 100, high near 100. Heat indexes is be careful tomorrow. High is a 107. And then Monday is when we 99, but the chance of thunderstorms starts Monday night. So if I'm going to do it, I got to get them in. Should I do a container or should I put them in a bed? What do you think? My seeds.
Well, I would just put them in where you're going to want them to grow.
Okay, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, but you can't. You could. I mean, if you put them in a container, you could almost have, 80-90% germination
Ooh.
rate in it. But then you'd have to transplant them and everything.
What does Bart do? Is Bart a container or just in the yard?
Oh, container.
A container.
Okay. Oh, is Bart container everything?
Yes.
Yeah,
All right.
and never has wastes any seed or anything.
Good. Okay. Well, we'll see. Well.
And he and Gloria made a chicken dinner the other day and gave me a portion, and they harvested their first their potatoes. Oh, they were so good. They were so good, new potatoes.
Good for them.
So it motivated me. The next night, after 7 o'clock, when it was a little cooler, I went out and started harvesting some potatoes. Yeah.
All right, we have James on the line at 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. James, welcome to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas. How you doing today?
Yeah, I got all the chores done, so I'm inside with the AC on now.
Very smart. What's going on?
You guys out on the porch, huh?
We're on the porch. Come say hi.
It's nice and cool in here. Maybe
All right.
tomorrow.
All right. Well, what's going on? You got tomato report?
Well, yeah, they're coming in. I'm picking every day, and everything's fine. But what I wanted to ask your gardening experts
Okay.
is what
That's
they
y'all.
thought about the Bush Early Girl 54-day 7-ounce tomato for a fall tomato.
It never figured in our competitions and winning or anything. So I just maybe Trace is coming this way. Maybe, but I don't think it has fared very well, or competed with the other ones that we talk about mostly. The tycoons and the celebrities and those other varieties. You've grown it?
Yeah, it's got a real good flavor. That small tomato is, you got to go a long ways to beat that as far as flavor goes. I'd say it was as good or better than Celebrity.
54 days, that's 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see, July, August. Well, it seems like that'd be enough time. Mm-hmm. July, August, September. Oh, yeah. It seems. You might try it. You might be our experimenter. We'll put the word out to James and see if, and we'll try to remember to talk to David and some of those.
Right. Talk to David on that.
Yeah.
It's the early girl. Is that what you said?
No,
The regular early girl, I think, is an indeterminate. But this is a Bush early
Okay,
girl.
gotcha.
Am I right in assuming that
That's
early girl
the
is
way
indeterminate?
that's the way I interpreted it. If it's not, if it is a indeterminate, then that's one of the reasons why it's not generally
I've got
in
that
our
Bush.
competitions.
I've got that Bush seed coming from Home Seed. That's who we're doing business with nowadays. And they're calling it a Bush 54-day. And I've grown the indeterminate early girl, and, man, that's good tomato, man.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think you understand the qualifications of indeterminate, and you're going to get that Bush, and you're going to get something that says early girl.
Okay, anyway, that's the plan. And I wondered what you all thought about it.
We'll be certainly be interested in your results.
All right. Thanks, sir.
And then we'll
us a
check with
report back.
David and see what he knows about it.
Oh, great.
Thanks.
Thanks.
210-308-8867. Looks like we have another James on the line at 210-308-8867. 8867. What's up, James?
Hey, thanks for taking my call. I've got two things, if I could. One, I sent you a photo a few minutes ago, Milton. If
Okay,
you
I'm gonna look.
might want to pull that up and show the guys, or if not,
Okay.
I can explain it to them.
No, I'm looking.
so-
I see toadstools.
Yeah, I went out to water my chili pekin this morning because it was wilted, because it's root bound, and I never seen this before. I saw just one at first, but it looks like there's three. I knocked the big one off. Looks like right at the base of the stem of the plant, it's growing some. I call them toadstools. I guess they're toadstools. Those little mushroom caps. Does that mean the plant is declining, or just ignore it?
Well, I would suspect when you have 6 inches of rain, I would suspect there's some organic material rot, and it may not be very serious, but it depends on how long the plants have been in that container and how thick the roots are and everything.
It's root bound. That plant was put it in that pot last spring, so it's over a year in that container like that.
Yeah. So I suspect it may not. I'd also suspect that it's probably not any long-term damage, but
Okay. Should I remove them? I knocked one off, and the other I said, well, maybe I better call. And secondly, I knocked the first one off with my fingers, and I should have put some gloves on. Are those things toxic to touch them, or no?
No.
not usually. No.
Okay.
You haven't died yet, so I think you're okay.
No, I just rinsed my hand off with the water hose.
Yeah.
That was all, but I didn't want to rub my eye or anything like that. Okay, I was kind of wondering about that, if they might be toxic or anything,
No.
just to the touch. Okay, my second dilemma, back in February, I think it was, I cut my 2 crepe myrtles down at the end of my driveway that had long-term freeze damage from that snow several years ago. So they were doing real well, really good, lush, everything. Actually, both of them were putting on blooms, but they were only about a foot tall, growing. One got the cut ants and took one down, so I got those under control. It leafed back out, looked really good again. Now the second one, the county out here, I'm in Atascosa County, they only do this once or twice a year. They're mowing between the fence and the road. I guess they're bored. I don't know what's going on here. Anyway, they whacked one all the way down to the ground. They shredded it. I guess they realized what they did and left the other one alone. I don't know. I wasn't home. But I know it was them because I saw them mowing throughout the neighborhood. So is that thing going to respond? Come back?
How long was it in the ground prior?
Oh, I planted it in 1999.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it'll come back.
Okay. All right. I mean, it was doing...
And then you'll have the opportunity of determining how many trunks you want.
How many? Oh, trunks. Okay. Yeah, I got you. You had mentioned that before, kind of thin it out. I think you said in July, if I remember, something like that.
Yeah, I always do the on a more mature trunk. If there's any sprouts, I like to do that Christmas and 4th of July.
Okay, now this one that they cut, this one they shredded down since it's set back. If it does respond, should I just let it go this summer and not prune on it, thin it out?
Yes.
Let it go this year. Okay. What I did do is I got, that stuff's gotten expensive. I went to my local garden center, which is a grocery store, and picked up a little bottle of Super Thrive and doused it real good with about 10 gallons. So I'm hoping that kickstarts it. I guess it won't hurt it.
No, it will not hurt it. And yes, it is expensive.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I really don't want to lose it. I've had it a long time. I was really ticked when I came home, and one's looking good and one's gone. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Okay, so the chili patin, knock those toadstools off and get them out of the pot, would you say?
I wouldn't even worry about it, but yeah, get them out of the pot. What mushrooms are doing are feeding on organic matter in the pot. It may not be roots, it may be just mulch or old organic matter. So not cause it a whole lot of harm, but if if they are disturbing you, then yes, remove it.
No, I just was wondering about the toxicity and or they may be being detrimental to the plant itself. But you're saying just don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
No, I don't.
All right.
The birds eating the berries?
Oh, yeah, they're getting more than me. There's so many. I don't know if y'all could see on the picture. I just can't keep up with them. There's just too many. But they are good.
But I don't.
Oh,
I've
yeah,
never
wow.
seen them translate. The toadstools translate to a potent or
Any kind of
problem
poison
berry.
to the berries. No.
Okay. All right. I'll keep munching on them. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, 210-308-8867. We are in line to take a quick break. 210-308-8867. And, we're back in a moment on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Back to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas. Dr. Calvin Finch, Mark Peterson, and I'm Milton Glueck are just sitting here at Milberger's ready to talk gardening with you and help you out with those issues. 210-308-8867. You want to talk about Calvin's article? You brought that up? Yeah, what you got? What did Calvin write about?
Peaches.
Peaches.
In the title, I always love it because it's we frequently use the term challenging. It can be a challenge. It's challenging. So the title is Growing Peaches in San Antonio is Challenging.
Okay.
And it is. There are much easier fruits. And Calvin mentioned them, figs or blackberries. But everyone wants to grow peaches. And there are several things that need to be done.
Well, and it doesn't help that Mark is just sucking up those beautiful
peaches right now.
June King or
June Gold.
No,
it's not June Gold.
No, we have peaches here at Milberger's out in the front parking lot, and this week's version is June Prince.
June Prince,
which is a variation on June Gold.
Okay, that's interesting.
And June Gold was the one of those two varieties that I grew on my peach orchard years ago. But that was one last week. June Gold was the one that they harvested last week.
Okay.
But this is the time of year that we do those June Golds. This one's June Prince.
And when you're growing peaches in San Antonio or South Texas, one of the things that makes it easier is if you have a variety that doesn't take much cold weather in the winter, but also ripens quickly. So that because to successfully harvest a crop, produce and harvest a crop, you've got to keep the insects sprayed and control the diseases.
The birds.
Yeah, and
diseases.
So
the longer it's on there, the more risk you inherit.
Now, of course, the longer it's on there too, the more. In some cases, the higher quality. It might be sweeter. You have a structure, a freestone structure instead of a structure where around the seed that's hooked to the seed. And then, of course, you don't have to fight the birds and the bugs for that far.
But Calvin explains that very well in the article. It's a balancing act. But how many hours usually? We got to get around 400. Is that? It depends on the variety, though.
Yeah. Well, 300 to 600 is a reasonable, and that includes like Techstar and my favorite Florida King, and June Gold, and what it's La Valenciana, and so that's the ones that we have. A lot of people have pretty good luck with it, growing them here in the San Antonio area. If you have peach varieties that require more cold weather, then it's more of a gamble because we don't usually get more cold weather than, and the definition of the chill factor or the cold weather is not everything below 32 degrees. It's actually everything between 32 degrees and 45 degrees. So you want, ideally, if we be much easier to grow things if we had 600 hours every winter between 32 degrees and 45 degrees.
Yeah.
But that doesn't happen.
No.
And you get that if you get weather below 32 degrees, it's not contributing. And if you don't get enough between 32 and 45, it is not contributing.
Yeah, that's a small window of cold.
Well, and then, of course, one of the other big topics we talk about is our soil. We don't have a lot of soil, so to be successful, we quite often have to, in a backyard peach orchard, you have to have a raised bed, and drip irrigation is pretty essential too to be successful. And even then,
even then you don't know, because I was just thinking about the weather even more, because we have such roller coaster weather.
Yeah.
Or we have had it in the recent past history. Cold weather, droughts, high heat, just about everything, and that will damage the fruit and production. Let's say, ideally, if you could have 500 hours and then a late little frost to thin out some of the fruit, that would be perfect.
Okay,
but you never get that.
Oh,
so it is challenging, but it's worthwhile.
Yeah.
If you can get a decent crop.
Yeah. Now I think you recommended a raised bed, at least 12 inches of soil.
Yes, I've generally just used one railroad tie, which is about 8 inches, which is not enough. So you want, if you've got another 6 inches of regular soil under that, that would add to it. Or if you raise it up 12 inches, that would help quite a bit. Even then, we generally don't expect our peach trees to live very long.
Somebody had asked me about at the Men's Garden Club, how long should we expect my tree? And after the first guffaw, I went, 13 years is really pushing it. And I asked Calvin, and Calvin goes, "Oh yeah, if you get that."
7 to 10 is what I kind of predict, because we've got a disease, bacterial canker, which is really, there's not really anything that we can do to now, because it's stress related. And it doesn't matter whether the stress is from cold weather, hot weather, dry weather. That stress makes it easier for the bacterial canker. That's the disease that a lot of people can see right now with the syrupy drips kind of coming out of the
it looks
tree.
like a lovely maple syrup coming out of the base of the tree. Yeah. No, the only thing we have in our toolbox is a copper-based fungicide.
Yeah, in the fall.
At repeated
every fall.
Repeated sprays and everything. And we got to primarily do it in the fall.
So it's tough. Now, plums are actually a little easier to grow in terms of the diseases and the insects. Mm-hmm. But as Mark mentioned, the easiest things I always think of are as figs and blackberries.
Yeah,
and we'll talk about figs and blackberries, and then citrus is kind of interesting. Satsumas and our favorite bloom sweet, grapefruit. So those three I think of as being easier to grow than the peaches. even though the peaches are wonderful if you get a successful crop.
Well, and I mean, talk about figs. Parker, the dog, is growing his own figs, so and he's doing it really well.
Yeah, and I liked it. I think I like the figs with the prosciutto and balsamic vinegar.
Yeah,
a little bit better than Calvin did, but I thought it needed more balsamic vinegar.
More balsamic vinegar. Okay,
that would have helped, but I like them so much when they're just
plain.
Plain, yeah.
The figs.
Yeah.
Gosh, yes, mine are getting close.
Good.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I
All right,
saw
if
some.
If you have too many, can I get some?
Yeah. I'll be careful not to make any commitments.
Okay.
Between, I do have a large bird population that I have to share with.
No, I want to try to make the recipe for the fig preserves.
Oh, okay.
So you can't buy figs at the store.
The squirrels.
You can, but they're ridiculously expensive.
The squirrels like them. The raccoons, possums.
Yeah,
man, you got a zoo over there.
Yeah. I saw some last night at the neighbors, and I looked at them. I'm going, a couple more weeks.
Yeah, good.
They're almost there.
Yeah, I need a fig tree.
Yeah, they are easy.
We did have them in New Orleans, and yes,
they're easy to
birds and other animals used to drive my dad nuts. It's like
got to keep up with the growth. That's the only thing, because they get out of hand very quickly.
Well, I told you the story of Dorothy Weedy, one of our favorite master gardeners, and she had the running battle with the female fox that lived under her shed, and it would go and climb up the fig tree and harvest it, and then she'd run out or send her daughter to chase it away. And I was there one time when all it did was she chased it out of the tree, and it ran under the shed and then ran around the house and came back from the other direction after we went in the house.
That's very funny.
Yeah.
But, foxes can climb trees.
And they
all sorts of trees.
They like figs, too.
Yeah, and they love figs, which made the story even better. I've heard it over the years, and it's just.
And she had cubs too. She had
pups? Are they called?
Yeah. Well, I can't
called
remember
cubs?
what they call kits.
Kits. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so just knowing Dorothy, knowing the site, it's just, I always find it funny.
Yeah. So, okay. But, we're going to try to do the figs whenever we can get them. And maybe I can...
we have them here.
Yeah, I know we do.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll have to try to get one. But 210-308-8867. And like I told you before, we had a fig tree that came up between a house and an asphalt, because the house was pier and beam.
Yes.
So there was soil under the house, and it came up right through that, and it did wonderfully. Yeah. We tried to cut it down. It just said, we're coming back. So.
Yeah, they are easy to grow.
Yeah, good. Good deal. All right, 210-308-8867. So, Calvin, where do they find your article?
In the Express News.
And is it on mysa.com?
Today's edition. And I think it generally will appear in the Sunday edition that is for sale at the
Circle K's?
Circle K's,
or just a convenience store.
And on the internet, of course.
Yeah. That's what I was going to suggest.
All right. Speaking of the internet, when we come back, Mark is going to tell us what dropped on Friday.
I am?
You are.
Okay.
210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. Okay, get your phone going. Back in a moment on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Welcome back to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer, 210-308-8867. Give us a call. Tell us what's going on in your gardening world. We want Father's Day gift ideas, too. Got a week to go. We need some tips out there. All right, 210-308-88. What's that?
No, silence from Calvin and I.
Yes. Okay. Do you not? Fathers don't want gifts of plants, or?
I think we follow Edmund Prusky's advice.
Oh, the ribeyes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you like a tie? Or would you like a ribeye?
Yeah, a big old ribeye.
Please.
Actually, I think I like his sausage.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the other thing that's intriguing me, I keep thinking I'm going to get some rabbit.
Yeah, you got to go over there and get some rabbit.
Yeah.
Get some rabbit sausage.
Rabbit season.
I haven't had
Duck
rabbit
season.
in a long time.
Rabbit season.
I used
Duck season.
I used to raise rabbits. And
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah, and then we'd harvest them, cook them.
All right, 210-308-8867. Mark, what dropped on Friday?
My 2 videos for the gardening volunteers of South Texas. And they were really good videos, both in production and content. So we started out at the Haven for Hope. I believe it's called Kate's Garden.
Oh.
Let me just get this correct. Yeah, Kate's Garden. And it's a beautiful, beautiful propagation garden. I mean, pollination garden. Pollination garden, and they got lots of different plants. Lee Marlowe, our good friend Lee, helps out with the plant selection and some of the design work. But it's beautiful, and it's there to assist the clients and their families, a little bit of solitude, and more importantly, a place for pollination for all the butterflies and bees and birds.
Hummingbirds?
And hummingbirds. It's got a great fountain, beautiful fountain in the middle of it. It's very nice. But you'll be able to see all that on the video. It started out as a vegetable garden, but it was attacked by nutgrass. And so they couldn't get rid of the nutgrass, and so they gave up and went to pollination. So it's worked out really, really well. The other video is our good friend Ron Seal, and visited him at his apartment complex over in Leon Springs, and we talked drip irrigation. So we talked about all the pros and cons of drip, what to remember, what to not do, and that was a really great article, or a really great video. A lot of people think drip is a solution to any kind of drought, any kind of conservation.
I have to admit that I don't agree with the SAW's philosophy on drip irrigation at this point.
Well,
it's quite different than. I think the original thought on drip irrigation, we always presented it as a very efficient way to water, and I think the researchers, or at least the SAWS team, I think has changed their opinion of that, or at least questions whether this is the most efficient way.
There you go. As I think it's very efficient, or very effective watering method if done properly. So many people design it wrong and run the system wrong, and the scheduling wrong.
Yeah, and I think the idea of maybe including the we have lawns that they watered every day.
Watering, yeah,
every day or every other day. That somehow was not the same as the drip irrigation the way we imagined it in the beginning.
Yeah, so drip is intended to be deep and infrequent. Well, so in the ordinance, it was allowed to have multiple days.
Oh.
And so they used it as such. And that's not what drip is intended. It's intended to be very infrequent but deep watering.
Or targeted.
Yeah.
I don't. Maybe deep is appropriate, but targeted at least. If we always thought you'd have to start your drip relatively early in the watering process. so that your root system would develop around those drip outlets, and then you would have the water would be very efficient. There'd be right there. There'd be a lot of collection roots right there, and then you would be stressing the plant. It was not unusual to expect to be stressing the plant in the hot part of the summer, but the idea was that the plant would survive, in fact, prosper, even though it would prefer to have more moisture. But that was part of the process too. So it's an interesting concept for sure. Chip, I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, no, and then I do a little tutorial at the very end that says what you should have. I didn't have the drip system on hand, so I had to use the big meter, the irrigation meter, and I was explaining that you need backflow protection, you need a filter, and some type of reduction of the water. So I was kind of using the main little system coming right off the meter, and so this is all the things you have to have. But you can do the same thing on site on your faucet. You can make up a drip system, but you have to have all the products in line on that. So filter, backflow, reduction.
Okay.
Pressure reduction.
Cool. So that was. Why, now I'm trying to remember why we got drip. Oh, because your video is drip.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So this is a good friend with this Master Gardener and the Gardening Volunteers of South Texas, Ron Seal, longtime member, and one of the officers. Oh, yeah, he was president a few years ago. So his specialty has always been drip irrigation, teaching it. And so he and I went through kind of as I said, pros and cons.
Okay. 210-308-8867. And where do folks find it?
You were reading my mind. I was going to
I know. I read some stuff. I'm going to see the movie.
It's scary sometimes. So where people can find this is at the Gardening Volunteers South Texas website.
Yep.
And they're called Go Gardening videos. And I host them. And I usually have examples around town of great gardening or something interesting. We may go to a city park or someone's house or something like. A couple of weeks ago, we went to Walker Ranch, and looked at some of the understory trees. Seldom used native species that should be used more often.
Oh, and 210-308. Good. So gardeningvolunteers.org.
Yes, and a new video will drop the first Friday of every month, and we have them on the website for 31 days, and then we send them to YouTube. And you can go on YouTube and go gardening video, and it'll show you the past 4 years. Oh, Lord. Yes, you can see me in various stages, beard and beardless.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's a real treat.
Yeah, that's worth going on.
Some people want to see that. Some people are hankering after that.
There are people that go on YouTube for other stuff, and now they're just going to go see whether you have a beard or not.
Yeah.
That's going to be exciting. No. And then are you putting together the next one?
Yeah, right now.
It's in formation?
Yes, it is in formation. So John Bogus and myself and Nancy McClintock.
John is still floating around.
Yeah. John is still he still endures me. What a patient man.
Yeah, I like John. I've known John. But yeah, good. Okay, so y'all are
we're already prepping.
No spoilers. Is this just prepping?
Yeah, just prepping for it.
Okay.
There'll be a couple good ones.
All right, 210-3 good. 210, and we'll tell you about them. 308-8867. Hey, well, while we got some time before we have to wrap it up in about 5 minutes, bring up some of the things that are on sale. Y'all can jump in, and if you've got some opinions on them. Vinca Cora Series is on sale in the 4-inch pot, 6 for $10. You like Vincas?
I like Vincas.
You good? What's that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Periwinkle.
I don't like them as much as I like zinnias.
No, you like zinnias more than anything.
And I like the periwinkle.
Okay.
Okay, go on, because there's a couple I want to jump in on.
Texas Lilac, also known as Mexican Lavender or Chase Tree, is on sale in the number 3 pot, 50% off. Is that one you wanted to talk about?
No.
Okay.
Keep going.
Star Jasmine.
Oh, that's excellent, but that's not the one I want.
On sale, they're $28.88 or 2 for $50. Okay, I'm going to find it. Variegated Flax Lily.
Oh, that's absolute gorgeous.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Sorry, shade underneath the trees. Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect with Liriope.
It is 50% off the number 3 pot, normally $24.99. Oh, this is, I don't know. I know its sisters and brothers are blooming all around town. I guess, its sisters are blooming or who's blooming? Tuscarora crepe myrtle.
Bing, 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 bing.
Okay, we're
That
binging.
is one of my favorite crepe myrtles, Tuscarora. That color's, or the photo in the paper does not do it justice. It's really, really hot pink. But it is disease resistant. It is one of the Indian named crepe myrtles.
That's important.
And it's a moderate growth, 15 to 20 feet. It's not overly big, but it's a good size.
Long bloom season?
Yes.
Oh.
A very long bloom season.
Sidebar, boy, as you drive around town, the crepe myrtles are putting on a show.
They are.
They look great. Pomegranates, 25% off. Let's see, what else? Pentas, Calvin.
Bing, 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 bing.
4-inch pot, normally $1.99, now on sale fire for $9.50.
I got that. Last week I bought some.
Oh, did you get some?
Yeah. I got red and white
Oh, those
for
are
my front yard.
Yeah, those are the best colors.
Yeah.
Cannas in the number 1 pot, now on sale. They normally $9.99, $6.88, and they're pretty. There's a pretty picture of the cannas.
Yes.
Do you have the
And
orange
you got
one?
3?
I got 3.
Why didn't you get more?
I haven't gotten them yet because I got to plant them. So we just got the 3. We got to figure out where we're going to put them.
Yeah. At this price, why didn't you get more?
Yeah,
right.
$6.88, and this is a pretty picture with the orange and the yellow.
Yes.
And I think Jody.
I said I wanted. What did I say? I wanted the reds. I think is earlier in the show.
Yeah.
You know, those orange. That
Yeah,
looks
the
nice.
orange are great.
There's not a lot of flowers.
That's
that
a
are
burnt orange. No. And Jody, who works here, helped me pick them out and got some good ones for me. Some that had bloom, 2 that had blooms, 1 that was getting ready to bloom. Avocados, normally $69.99, are on sale 25% off.
And I asked Trace last week. I said, "Which ones do you have?" And he listed off about 6 or 7 different varieties. So got a lot of choices for the avocados.
Yeah, that's good. Let's see, what else do we have? Roses. Everything in stock is 25% off.
So
That's a great deal.
That includes the hybrid teas as well as some of the antique.
The Floribunda.
And the tough modern roses.
The tough modern ones.
Mm-hmm. So it includes the Floribundas?
Yes.
How about the multifloras?
Yes.
The grandifloras?
Yes.
The climbers?
Yes.
And the moors?
Because there's some drifts in there. So.
Oh, there's some what?
You're drift roses.
Oh, okay.
You're reading just from the article, and I'm doing it from brain.
I am.
I'm doing my brain.
Oh, you're doing great.
But those are all the hybrid teas. Those are hybrids of each other. That's what the hybrid teas are.
Oh, okay. And then I'm trying to think of what else. Well, we'll talk more about the herbs and some of the veggies and stuff tomorrow.
Just I'm going to leave you with that. There's some dill and some fennel out there.
Okay.
There's no parsley, but there is rosemary, sage, and thyme.
Okay.
We only, in terms of time,
we got about a minute.
2 minutes.
Got about 1 minute left. And, as you drive around, you will see 2 things that are super blooming. Calvin mentioned his is blooming. I got to check ours. That's the Sinisa. Drive down Bulverde Road when you come to Millburgers. Go toward that Sun Harvest, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Are you going to go, or are you going to avoid it?
No, I'm going to go.
Okay.
I got to pick up some medication. I pick up.
Okay.
I pick up herbal supplements from them.
Okay. And the other one is crepe myrtles are all around town. The whites, the reds, the pinks, the purples.
Speaking of whites,
the white plumbago.
Plumbago is unbelievable.
So, and that's harder to find. So we have it here.
Yep. Oh, and altheas are blooming. We can talk about that tomorrow. All right, we're going to say goodbye for today. Thanks to Al for doing a great job. On behalf of the guys, thanks to you for listening. I'm Milton Glueck. See you back here tomorrow. Come visit us at Bulverde and 1604. And just listen on 9:30 a.m. This is The Answer.